everyone across the country was reacting to what happened at the Oscars. And so I wanna just reveal a few of those reactions in real time. I was doing my writing group. My wife texted me that it had happened, and I thought, well, she's clearly exaggerating what happened, or it was a joke. Nope, she wasn't exaggerating. She was underselling it to some extent. But Sitting Bull tweeted the people that were sitting next to Will Smith and laughed at that joke, and it's a photo of them receding into the background. Sam Brody is saying interacting with other people before the pandemic versus interacting with people after. Like, yes, it had been much more collegial earlier on.
So true.
Duncan Jones saying put a bug in every limo in Hollywood tonight, because a lot of celebrities were asked by like Variety and other places about it, but they're being very careful. Would have been fascinated to hear their true thoughts about that. One of my favorite comedians tweeted, "Now I need to see Kim Cattrall beat the S out of Ricky Gervais," and that's Francesca, and that's hilarious. I like Ricky Gervais. I like his shows. I think his comedy is not necessarily great. It's a little bit hacky, but I think his shows
isn't great. Yes, but I will say I go back and watch his Golden Globes performance multiple times a year. Like at least once a year, I'm like, I'm gonna go back and watch this. And yeah, he like lays into the entire cast of Sex and the City. He's like best makeup or artist or whatever is like whoever did the work on those ladies. Like we know you're not 40, just being really ageist and sexist and whatever. And they took it. I mean, they weren't like happy, but it was like they didn't look. Anyone who says women are emotional, even though I just said that I get very hot-headed, like, come on, you know what I'm saying? And if it were a woman, oh my God, ladies, can you imagine if it was like one of us? We would have been like, oh, I was on my rag, like super PMS-y. That's exactly what I would have said. No. I would have been like,
okay, I was gonna get to that, but let's pause on this. Obviously, look, this is a big thing. It's Will Smith as Chris Rock. The fact that they're not just at the Oscars, but they're among the biggest stars in the world or whatever. In this case, they're both black men. You change any other facet of this demographically, like if it had been Emma Stone slapping Jessica Chastain, if it had been Will Smith slapping Chris Pratt,
right?
Like it is already obviously there's a lot of discourse, I will say, but in some ways I think we avoided some of the worst. Like the right is already gonna be terrible when it comes to this, but anyway, I appreciated your comment. The Lucas Bro says every comedian should post a Will Smith joke in solidarity with Chris Rock. I'm not, but every other comedian should. That's not bad. And Kathy Griffin, I think, with a serious point, saying, let me tell you something, it's a very bad practice to walk up on stage and physically assault a comedian. Now we all have to worry about who wants to be the next Will Smith in comedy clubs and theaters. Especially because, look, there are a lot of people who think that what happened was awesome. Not just dramatic or entertaining, but awesome. He's defending his wife in some form, but he's also assaulting a performer. There are a lot of people who are a lot less worried than Will Smith off camera assaulting someone potentially. So I am worried about, like, we already see flight attendants and bartenders and people working at Panera are routinely getting harassed and assaulted for just doing their job. I am a little bit worried about the ripple effects from this, Francesca. What about you? You perform on stage.
Well, it happens frequently. I mean, that someone is asked to leave because they're heckling, they're being too loud, they're being aggressive. And sometimes those people even try and rush the stage like that. It has not, thank God, happened to me, knock on wood, but it definitely has happened. People like suddenly, again, there is no barrier between performer and the audience. People are like, it's my entire Netflix screen. I'm gonna get up in your face, And so, and especially now, I know people, and I've done benefit shows for like things like abortion rights and pro-choice causes. And I think there's a lot of people, 9 times out of 10, performers are women. And there's some fear. There's some like, look, we don't know in this day and age, the number of people who are armed, who are open carry. God, every state essentially is an open carry state. What are we like up to like 30 now? Yeah. Who knows who's armed? And people aren't walking through metal detectors when they get into most comedy clubs. So, and even if like, so it is really scary. It is a very, very scary time. And I totally agree with Kathy Griffin that like someone will think that they can just do that. And like, will Chris Rock go to Will Smith's next, next like movie filming and go to the trailer and just smack him? He's doing his job. He's doing his job.
Yeah, exactly. Also want to give credit to a friend of the show, Ken Klippenstein, who tweeted, I am calling for a no-fly zone around Chris Rock. Funny and timely. And I also saw someone, I don't remember who it was, but they just tweeted, I got in one little fight and my mom got scared. That's pretty funny.
So good.
That's funny.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.